It's going to come down kind of to the front. So if we're doing a shoe with a shoelace front, this will be really helpful to show us where we need to start those laces. All right, Sarah, I've got you all settled in for your shoe exam now. I'm going to be looking at the shape of the foot, making various measurements, and also we'll do a toe impression just through the socks because we're not doing anything open toe, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. Anything specific I should know about your shoes, or what? Do you wear any special orthotics or anything we're needing to accommodate?
I don't really wear anything like custom. I do have plantar fasciitis on my right side.
Okay, so we're definitely going to want to build in enough arch support there so that your arch isn't straining. We even could put in like a bit of a gel sole to make it extra comfortable for you and just make sure that arch is really getting the elevation that it needs so that you're not getting that pulling and discomfort in the foot as much. Basically the same as like an orthotic insert. Okay. All right, I'm going to come down here to start the exam. So I'm looking at the feet. I'm going to place them if you don't mind. Sure. It's okay to touch you? Okay. Okay. So I'm looking. And what size shoe do you normally wear?
It's kind of hard. I would say I average about a 7.5.
Okay, so pretty average. That's actually the exact average for women in the United States is a 7.5. So you're perfectly average as far as shoes go. So I am noticing a few things. So what I look for is that arch. And so you have a pretty good arch on the left side, but less so on the right side. Do you get the plantar on the right side?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so you're definitely having some collapsing in the arch here compared to here. So you can see I can get kind of like one finger under there. Here it's like I can tell exactly how much. So from floor to top of arch, 4 centimeters versus here. It's only 2.5, so it is a pretty drastic difference between the arches. And I am looking, and it looks like the foot is flat on both sides. So yeah, it's definitely a much different shape there. So we'll take an arch impression as well, I think, just because that is so different. All right, Sarah, so the way that I like to do my measurements is just to write down everything as I go. And if you have any questions, feel free to stop me.
Okay.
So I'm going to first go around the ankle. And the socks are actually very helpful to wear. Not only do they allow us to accommodate socks in, we'll start with this right side, in shoes, but they also give us nice placement of where things are on the foot. So the ankle bone, or the ankle, where the ankle lines up to the sock, it's sort of built in already. I'm not even sure how one gets. So you also have more swelling on the right side, just a little bit. Now we're going to get right here in the middle. It's going to come down kind of to the front. So if we're doing a shoe with a shoelace front, this will be really helpful to show us where we need to start those laces. And that's exactly even. Now I'm going to slip underneath your heel, and I want you to just place it down right there, and we're going to go from heel to front of ankle. Okay. And I think you're right. I think so far what I'm measuring is pretty aligned with a 7.5.
Yeah, I feel like I have shorter feet, but a little bit wider, so sometimes have to accommodate for that.
Well, that is the beauty of custom shoes, is they're going to fit you absolutely perfectly. So I'm going to slip underneath now to the arch. 25. So we all have different bodies, and it doesn't really matter who you are. Unless it's custom, it's just not going to fit the same. That's kind of our motto here. So we highly encourage, if you can, get a custom mold made or work with a cobbler. And it's great to support them and get exactly what you need. Same side to side. And I'm going to be coming right along the toes. The base of the toes, I should say. 22, okay. And now I will get along the toe line. So I think overall the right foot is about half a size bigger than the left in a comfortable place. So I think you would be more comfortable if you were wearing either a 7.5 wide here or an 8 and then a 7.5 here.
Okay.
I think that in general that can be hard because they don't generally want to sell you 2 different pairs of shoes. But again, here, not an issue. We will just accommodate for it. So let's get the foot length. I'm going to use a slightly different tool for this. Have you seen one of these before? Been a while. Maybe you've seen it in like a shoe store.
Shoe store,
yes.
Yeah.
So these are great. They're called a Brannock device. That being said, you're not going to get the exact measurements you are with a tape measure, but it gives us a good starting point. So if you'll take your right heel and you'll place it here, and you're just going to make sure it's fitted right in the back. So I'm moving this to the middle of the arch. And actually, that's in a pretty good spot for you. For length. Okay. So for width on this foot, we're looking at kind of like a mid-wide. So I think a wide would be helpful, but your feet are actually not particularly wide in the foot itself. We can accommodate for, there is definitely a bit of wideness maybe in the ankle comparatively, but the foot itself is fairly normal, as far as normal in the sense of an average size width foot. Okay, and then we're just going to press the toes down. Look at the toe lead.
Just the style of shoe I tend to reinforce.
If you're going to wear a very narrow shoe, something that has a little more give, like a sneaker, I wouldn't necessarily say a wide might make you more comfortable, but I wouldn't say it's a necessity. But I would say for a more narrow, like going out shoe, leather shoe, anything with a heel, you'll be way more comfortable in the wide. Okay, and you can release your foot. You can release the foot. There you go. And yeah, your size 7.5. 7.5. C. And you were at 9 for the arch length. Very good. We're going to do the other side. Shift that back here. So we actually have a little more width on this foot. Not that surprising, especially with the higher arch. It's going to naturally kind of push the foot out. We're looking at a 10 for the arch. Definitely a higher arch point. D for the width, and Let's say 7.5. Might be a little bit bigger on this side. So again, this foot's a little bigger than this foot. I'd say 7 could fit you comfortably on that side. Next up, we're gonna do a couple of fun tests. So range of motion is really important in shoes because they are so rigid, compared to the gloves that we measured you for, where those are gonna be fabric, they're loosey-goosey, you can move them all around. In the shoe, we really need to know how rigid or flexible to make a shoe based on your walk pattern. So I'm gonna have you stand up, and I'm gonna have you take a couple of steps in place. So just 1, 2, I'm looking at the way that the body is moving and how much you're picking up your feet. And you may sit down now. So I'm noticing that the gait is not super, you're not lifting the leg super high, you're not needing an extra flexibility in the ankle. Can you lift this ankle up all the way for me? That feels comfortable to you. Okay, and if you don't mind just lifting it so you can point it down. Oh, okay, so you have a lot of range of motion in that direction. Okay, relax it. So you're getting pretty much full extension, and flexion is in the normal range as well. Do flexion one more time for me, just like up like that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, up like that. Okay, and point it down. Awesome. Okay. Really good. Moving back and forth. I'm just looking for anything typical. So sort of like this. Yeah. No, that's fine. That's normal. That's fine. That's normal. We're going to check the toe width. Equal bilaterally. Good. And we're saying normal symmetry on both sides. So we're taking a look at the toes themselves. So you have almost what's considered, so it's basically two ways the toes can be. Either you have the first one shorter, the second one protruding, and then all down from there, or you, these are the most common ones anyway, or you have the biggest toe is the largest toe, and then they all taper from there. So you just ever so slightly on this side have a protruding second toe and then taper. It's really, they're almost equal. It's really minor. There's no right or wrong answer, but sometimes people who have this tapering can sort of favor the inside of their foot because they don't have as much stability in the center of their foot. Okay. Could be that's part of the issue with the plantar fasciitis, but you'd have to, visit your doctor to fix that. So on this side, we have, again, perfectly even and then a taper down. So fairly similar on both sides. Some slightly more toe extension here than on this side.
I feel the difference when you have it.
You can feel it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so again, that's pretty typical and normal to not have complete symmetry in any parts of the body. So we're not worried about that at all. Now this is going to feel a little funny, but I want to make basically a foot imprint of your foot. So cutting board. I want you to place it here. And I'm going to be placing a few pieces of tape around, and then we'll make some marks. So first thing I'm going to do is the inside of the arch, and then the outside of this joint right there. I'm going to mark the top toe, and we'll get the angle of the tape. So unlike a glove, which literally fits like a glove, with the shoe we'll have, we're rounding up here. So we're more concerned about the shape, overall shape that the foot makes versus the individual toe shape, that size. Always leave a little bit of a centimeter of space in the heel because it's just usually more comfortable, and we'll place a little bit of padding in the back of the ankle area here, which will create some extra tension. So stay right there. We're just going to mark where each toe is. And we're also going to mark, I'm shading the inside of this arch that I can get to. All right, go ahead and lift the foot. So this will be really nice and easy to see when I do the other side, the difference in the arch, okay? So other side now. I always like to start with the arch, just a personal preference. So, pretty clear to see now, right? We've got a big difference, and the foot was flat. I checked it. It was flat on the floor, just like the other one. So you can see why your arch support on this right side might not be feeling so good. So what we'll do is we'll bake that into the shoe. We'll build it in for you and give you the arch support that you need, kind of lifting up that foot so it's not so flat-footed. And then on this side, kind of the same thing, where we'll create that support underneath the arch and keep it lifted so it doesn't drop in the future. We've got one more task here. I know it's a lot, but I'm going to have you lift up the middle of your foot, and I'm going to have you just place your foot here, but don't stand yet, because I want to get up and I want to hold you for steadiness, because you're going to be on 2 different levels. It's going to feel really weird, okay? So I want you to stand up and just do the best you can. Do the best you can to stand up. There you go. And then just placing all the weight there. You should feel a little crackling. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, go ahead and sit back down. So we're not really getting much art here. Again, that's not surprising. Your foot is a little more flat on that side. Let's try. I gotta grab a fresh one actually. The other side. Freshy here, and we're gonna do the same thing on this side. I don't expect this to be, again, this is kind of a balance challenge, so you're not the only one who struggles. Just do your best. So I can already hear there's more of an impression there. You can feel it.
Too, yeah.
So yeah, so again, is it a crazy difference? No, but you can see it though, right? So we'll mark those for you. So we'll just mark those. And this was the right foot. This is the left. Okay. So we'll go ahead and mark all those measurements in our system. And then because we'll have them, we can kind of tailor whatever shoe that you'd like. So why don't we head to the consultation room. We'll talk a little bit more about what you're looking for, but as far as the fitting goes, I think I have everything I need.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.